Okay, we're going to go ahead and start some lessons on lines, line segments, and rays. Firstly, we need to recognize these little red circles right here as points. Each point represents a segment of a line. So between this point and this point, that's one segment of the line. I want you to look at this diagram and place points at the beginning and at the end of every line segment you can see here. Pause the video. I'm sure you did well, and this is how they were placed. So you have one at the beginning, at the end, at every corner where a line begins and ends. Points are placed on lines, and they also mark line segments. And so we got to figure out firstly, what is a line? A line is a straight line here with arrows at each end showing that it goes on infinitely. It goes on forever and ever and ever each way. We start placing points on the line to give lines name, and it's done with capital letters, and I'll show you on the next slide. And this is what represents, if you see a symbol like this is representing, it's asking for the line. Below we have another line, but it has 3 points. Doesn't matter how many points is on a line. When they start asking for line segments, which is represented with a straight line, no arrow or anything. Here's a better example. We have names on our points now. And now we can look over here and pretend you're doing a test, and you see the symbol and it says, mark our lines. Well, we're going to mark A and B as our lines, and then make sure that our diagram, our little symbol above it, has arrows on both ends, represented that goes on forever and ever on both sides. And you can take that and reverse it as well, because it goes on forever on both sides. So it could be BA as well. Here, they're asking for line segments. And this is represented with a symbol with no arrow on it. It's just a straight line. And a line segment is point to point only. Like CD, that's a line segment right here. Or DF, that's another line segment. And notice there's just a straight line. Or FC. And there's a few more we could go over, but I think you got the idea. Here, I want you to pause the video and try to label your lines and your line segment, which is about there's 6 of them that you can do. And then start the video again after you're done. All right, let's go over this. Here we have a line AB or line BA. We can reverse this because the lines go on forever and ever in both directions. Here they're asking for segments. So what did you come up with? Make sure that you put your little symbol as a straight line only with no arrows, right? And then you go BC could be a line segment. CB could be a line segment. AB, BA, AC, or CA. All of those are line segments. Moving on to rays, what do you notice differently about this? I bet you notice the point at one end with no arrow, and that it only points in one direction. Well, your symbol, when somebody's going to ask you for a ray, is going to be exactly that. You're going to have a line with one arrow. What's important about this, even in reverse, you need to make sure that you always start off with the point when you label it. That point right there is the most important rule to remember when you're writing down your A. So, example, A would come first and B. Never B. Never, never, never the arrow in first. Reversing the arrow, it is done the same way. And I even put the letters in reverse, just to give you an example to get that through, that no matter what, you would label the point first, B, and then A. Just remember these rules. That's what's really important. I have some practice rays here for you, so if you want to, pause the video and then I'll go over it with you when you start it back. I made sure I marked the point red because that's where you should have started firstly. And I put 3 points on this line for just an example. You could have labeled this ray CAB, but the quicker way to do it is to just label it CB, because that would include everything in between. You can do that with lines, segments, and lines the same way. K is on the point, so we're going to start with K and then L, W, H, and reversed. We still start with the point, so it would be YZ. Bet you did good, huh? Here I have some little symbols here, and I want you to do what the symbols ask. Pause the video and I'll go over it with you. Okay, here we have a line. It has arrow on both ends, but we also have points here, which also means there could be line segments. But what you could look for is also, you could look for a ray where we could cut it in between. We're going to start off with the ray. B is marking the center of this line. And from B, if we were to cut it from B to A, that would be a ray. Or B to C. It could not be C to B or A to B. It had to be B first. For line segments, there's tons here, so we're just going to go over a couple. AB could be a line segment, and AC. BC and BA. CB and CA. And there's a few more. What about a line? Well, we want to get the points on each end here, and we want to get AB, AC, or either CA. You can reverse. Here I have an example to where you can play with all of them at once. So pause the video and give it a go. Here there's tons and tons and tons, so I'll try to go over most of them. Line segments. 2 points. We could have chose AC or CA, and anything I say we could have done in reverse. So BA in reverse, DA in reverse, EA in reverse. So we could also done EB reversed, CD reversed. Now we're looking for rays, and an array is, it stops at one end and goes infinitely on another. So we're going to pick A as our point where it stops, and C, or A and E. A, D, A, B. For our lines, let's pick 2 points to make a line, and that'd be C, D, E, B. And you can keep going on. I mean, you can do tons of line segments here. So you could do, where this goes on forever. I hope this was helpful. I put this together really quickly, just trying to get it out there on request. And I appreciate you guys watching. And please, please sub or subscribe or like or whatever you feel like doing. Blessings.